Okay, so take two.
Keeping it
So
real.
our first video was of the UFT video from yesterday. Our second video today, because we got to spread the love everywhere, is going to be of the 17 minutes that we do have of the DC-37 audio that was sent to us. So we want to be able to fact check that one today. So share screen. Let's go to here. And let's play. You got your X ready?
Yes, I do.
I have no props,
Oh, wait a second.
just my mouth.
I need to make sure I'm sharing sound. Share sound. Raise my volume. All right. Let's do this.
So tonight, DC-37's Henry Garrido, president of DC-37, held a conference call chat, and I was not able to make it, but here is 17 minutes of the call for you to listen to.
Having a problem was the hospital for special surgeries and Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Those have been added. So there is no exclusion of any hospitals under the new system that we have. It's the same as it is right now.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Nora. And next we have Dorsula in New York City. Dorsula, you are live. Go ahead.
Yes, I had asked the question about DC-37 with the dental and the eyeglass plan. Do we still...
Yeah, Dorsula, the program, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You'll get those things through DC-37.
That's correct. You still continue to get that. And by the way, I should add that, as you know, just as we've been improving the dental services with a new provider called Delta Dental, in order to address the complaint of many of the members who didn't like the program that we have, we are also will be opening up our new dental facility, a state-of-the-art dental facility in Chambers Street. At 115 Chambers Street, we will we expect to inaugurate a new facility with brand new chairs, brand new state-of-the-art equipment on November the 15th of this year. So we're looking forward to that. We are increasing the number of chairs in order to eliminate any of the waiting list that we had on the Chambers Street operation. We bring in multi-million-dollar investments. We're spending more than $10 million to do the new programs in order to cover the cost for what people were complaining to be one of their concerns, which is the dental operation and the fact that many of the providers were not taking the DC-37 dental. So we have been making improvements on that. And I think one of the things that's worth mentioning is we just didn't do Medicare Advantage. We did a new RFP for PICA, which changed the way that we're paying for prescription drugs, also saved us money. And we're making major improvement elsewhere as well at DC-37. So that program continues, our benefit continues. You will continue to get the DC-37 dental and prescription drug program without any changes. If anything, we're looking to improve those.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Dorsula, glad to get you connected. Next up, we have Anita with us in New York City. Anita, welcome to the call. Please go ahead.
Yes, my concern was I did receive, thank you for having this forum. I did receive mail with applications to say the change. And is this something that's just going to roll over? I am a retiree, so I want to know, do I just listen to what y'all are saying and don't sign anything, don't okay to nothing? So That's my concern. Is this something that's just going to roll over? And hello, Henry, it's Anita Thompson Holder.
Hi, Anita. How are you? Good to hear from you. I would just say to you, Anita, is you do not have to do anything unless you are willing to opt out. If you're opting out, as you heard, you would have to pay the $191 for the subsidy that we're losing. So you do not have to do anything if you are staying in the, unless you're opting out of the program. Everything will be transferred to the new Medicare Advantage, and we will be sending you cards out and new information once that happens.
Did he say you will pay 191 because of the subsidy that we're losing?
Did he say what?
Did he say you will pay, if you're willing to opt out, you will pay $191 for the subsidy that we're losing?
Yeah, that's what he said.
What subsidy is he referring to?
I don't really understand that part.
Okay,
I think the subsidy is that it's their subsidy, that they are paying for the GHI and now they're no longer going to pay for that GHI. And it's not
Okay.
191, it's $191.57. And if you have a hospitalization rider, which most of us do, it will now be $2.83 a month in addition.
correct. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah, that sounded like a plant, to be honest.
Oh, Anita Thompson.
Whatever her name was, yeah, Anita, because he got all gooey at the end. Okay, hold on.
As well.
All right, great information. Thank you so much, Henry, and glad to hear from you as well, Anita. Next up, we have Eileen and Frederick. Eileen, you are now live on the line. Welcome to our call. Go ahead. Eileen, do we have you on the line with us? All right, looks like she maybe has just walked away from her phone. No worries, she's asking, with this program, does she have to pay anything extra?
With this program, the only thing that is extra, and it's not because of the program, there will be co-pays. And as I said before,
Copay.
those co-pays would have been effective in the new, in the senior care program that was all. We've managed to delay that 6 months, but co-pays will be coming, and I want everybody to know that co-pays would have stayed either whether we did this or not. Part of what we're trying to do is to save money, folks, because the cost of healthcare has just skyrocketed, both for the city, both for the union, and the money that was there to cover for those additional costs was running out. So we're doing everything that we can to try to keep the program as intact as possible. Unfortunately, there is co-pays that would have been affected anyway, but we will not manage to waive those co-pays. Those co-pays will be starting on January 1st when we do the new program.
No explanation as to why those funds are running out.
No, and it's not completely true to say it's only copays that would end up costing us money, right?
Mhm.
So that's also becoming an issue because that's kind of on the cryptic side. That really could have been a little bit clearer, and it wasn't.
Mhm.
So, yeah, because so back to what we were saying in a previous video, we've been told of 3 different scenarios. The first scenario was the physicians in network and they bill the plan and we just have our copay. Then the second scenario is they're out of network and either the physician will bill the plan and then they get whatever, and it's still just our copay because they're billing the plan. But then there's the third scenario we were told. by A33 that if they do not wish to bill the plan, we either have to lay it out and hope to get reimbursed, or they'll reimburse at the Medicare allowable rate, which we know to be 80%, still leaving us on the hook for the co-insurance of 20%. So those were the three scenarios that we've been given from the A33 hotline, and through some of these webinars, which Kim Parker described as a rare instance. But it's still an instance, and it may not be as rare as she thinks it is going to be.
What I'd like to know is how they can determine that something is a rare instance in a plan that's never existed before. So therefore, how can you have prior experience to say in the rare instance? It's very confusing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
If I say
All right,
anything,
great. Thank
you
you
have to
so
buzz
much.
me.
And next up here, want to welcome Romelia in Manhattan. Romelia, go ahead with your question. Romelia, do we have you on the line here? All right, I'll go ahead and just read her question as well. She's asking Henry, can she keep her same doctor that she currently has?
Yes, Romelia. The doctor takes Medicare. The doctor should be covered under the Medicare Advantage program that you have right now.
Should be. Not will be.
Should be. And why say that? Because they're supposed to take the plan if they accept Medicare, is the theory. However, because it is a MAP plan, the doctor does not have to take the plan. This is what they keep saying. Well, they're contracted, they're in the plan, they're in the network, they're in the plan, they have to take the plan. No, they don't have to take this. They can still take Medicare patients, but they don't have to take this plan, right? Okay.
What you have to do is tell the doctor that there is a new Medicare Advantage program. Make sure that you let them know so that whatever changes have to be made for billing purposes, you would have a new card with a new number for the insurance. But your doctor, as most of the doctors should be covered, make sure you check with them if they take Medicare Advantage. But our understanding is the vast majority of the Medicaid doctors will be taking.
Put it again.
Oh my gosh. And this is the crazy thing, that there is like, why is my radio doing this? That this is the second video that the second executive director of a union keeps confusing Medicare and Medicaid.
I didn't even hear that. I was too busy focusing on my thoughts that they're basically going by what they're being told as opposed to actually checking that the information that the alliance is giving them is accurate, such as we're doing and finding out that it's not accurate.
Yeah,
Correct.
right.
And they're putting it on, like he said, tell your doctor that this is the plan. It should not be the patient's responsibility. People have enough when they're sick and they don't feel good, or they don't understand it. It shouldn't rely. And this is where people are going to get jammed up with exorbitant bills because they don't know.
Right.
And
that'll just add to your anxiety, anger, and frustration.
Correct. It gets me frustrated.
We don't even haven't started yet.
Right. Right. You're gonna be doing that if I get started.
Well, it was like a Mulgrew yesterday calling that Miami facility and looking it up and looking up the facility online to see exactly what we've been saying all along. The physicians aren't in the system.
Exactly.
Right.
But he still wants to gaslight us and tell us, of course, they'll take it, which of course we know that in most of these situations, the doctors are holding steadfast. And he wants to paint them as being ignorant. Don't tell the doctor this. Don't talk to the doctor. Talk to the billing person. No, that's what we have been doing. We've been talking to the billing offices. The billing offices are telling us, no, we're not taking this. Or no, we haven't heard anything about it. Or we don't know yet. Crazy.
Medicare Advantage Plus as well.
Medicaid.
All right, got it. Thank you so much.
You just said Medicaid doctors.
We have Janet in Yonkers with us. Janet, go ahead with your question, please.
Hi, good evening. I'm speaking on behalf of Janet. I'm her daughter. Mom had...
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
This
Hold
was
on.
when I got a messenger message. I didn't shut my Facebook down and it stopped my video. I had to go back and find it. Give me a second. Me searching. I have to always remember to shut Facebook down or Messenger will screw up.
Now I gotta
Any-
find where that was.
Charging us. How would you know to charge us on what? And next up here, we have a question coming in from Joanne. More of a clarifying question here.
So what you're doing, but that you give them a call and give them your specific location and see how the program will affect your specific area.
All right, appreciate that info.
We were able to negotiate thousands of Uber rides.
Here we have Janet in Yonkers with us. Janet, go ahead
Here
with
we
your
go.
question, please.
Hi, good evening. I'm speaking on behalf of Janet. I'm her daughter. Mom has right now Montefiore emblem. Will she be able to keep her doctors? And also, she heard that you have Uber rides that will take her to her doctor's appointment. Does that work for Yonkers, and how could she sign up for that? Yeah, thank you for your question, and thank you, Mother. The answer to your first question is yes. Those hospitals will be covered. Montefiore will continue to be covered under this program. The number of Uber that I mentioned, we were able to negotiate thousands of Uber rides, but it's not for, as you mentioned, for the doctor's appointment. One of the benefits is that if you're going to get your physical, you can get a Uber ride, but there is a cap on the cost. That's one of the things that is being completed now. But I believe as of the last number, the DC37 MLC Group Coalition was able to negotiate 12,000 Uber rides as an added benefit to the new program. And so that will be an added bonus that you don't have now. Now, I'm not sure about your zip code or the distance of what you're doing, but what I would suggest is that the number I gave out earlier
112-page contract
at the
either.
beginning of the program to ask for a specific to your location, 1-833-325-1190. That you give them a call and give them your specific location and see how the program will affect your specific area.
Oh my gosh. Where's my buzzer? Yeah, so no, we have not been able to confirm that from anywhere. First, we called 833 right after this call and they were like, Uber rides? What do you mean Uber rides? We've never heard of Uber rides. There are no Uber rides in this contract. We looked through the enrollment guide. We looked through, not in there either. Then I called Henry Garrido's office, not once, not twice, but 3 times. I emailed Henry Garrido, like, what was that, November 3rd, November 4th? No response. No response, wanting to know about Uber rides. No one knows about Uber rides. Never mind 12,000 Uber rides.
It specifically states in the evidence of coverage and in the contract that they have contracted with Access-a-Ride.
Yes.
There is no mention of Uber.
And how many do you get?
24 one-way trips per year.
Yeah, within 30 miles. That
Mhm.
we were educated by Miss Michelle that they are scheduled, we need to be scheduled 2 days in advance. And we
Right.
already have members on our over 10,300 person Facebook page that already use this service. And they've advised that this company is often very late in picking up their loved one, getting them to their appointment late. And then when they call to say that their appointment is finished, please come take my mama home, they could be stuck there for several hours, forcing them to take a cab home and then having to hope that they get reimbursed when they submit that bill into Access-a-Ride or the insurance company or wherever. Why would I put that burden on myself? Clearly, Mr. Mulgrew and Mr. Garrido have never taken care of a parent or have been sick enough to have someone schlep you around to realize that this is an added burden that we don't need, and yet they tout it as a benefit.
Would be great if there were Uber rides.
Would be,
Yeah.
you know,
12,000. 12,000.
1,000 Uber rides. But then remember too, we also have a large population that live in a somewhat rural area. I mean, the chances of Michelle probably getting an Uber ride from her house to Manhattan is so probably, oh, and that's the other thing, it's within 30 miles.
Yeah, okay. Listen, my mother-in-law lives right down the road. She's in Fulton County. She can get like one of those Access-a-Ride buses that take her to town, but because she's on the outskirt, they tell her it's too far. But she is eligible, but they complain because she's on the outskirt. Okay, so you really think that, you know, they're gonna take somebody? You know, come on.
That's not.
It is not.
You didn't have to argue with someone when you're not feeling well
Right.
to take me home, or have to listen to them complain because you're asking them to take you home. When you're not feeling well. Okay, here we go.
All right, appreciate the information, Henry. Thank you so much to Jana as well. Our next question, we have Richard in Queens. Richard, welcome to the call. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, I would like to know, will I lose Medicare Part A and B? You will not lose Medicaid Part. This is a combined program.
He keeps saying Medicaid.
Which includes all of the different parts of Medicare into one centralized program.
Is he saying you will not lose Medicare?
So the gentleman asked, will I lose my Medicare Part A and B? And Henry calls it Medicaid again. Yeah. So Medicare Advantage is known as a Part C program, which combines your insurances together.
Okay, but
But
it combines the benefits of A and B. You do not have A and B anymore. You will be removed from traditional Medicare.
correct. Yes.
Okay, it's the choice of
Misleading.
words that are
Right.
used.
Yes. Yes, you are disenrolling from your federal traditional Medicare entitlement, and you are enrolling in a private for-profit, even though Mr. Mulgrew doesn't wish to label it, or I'm sorry, Mr. Sorkin doesn't wish to label it as a privatizing of Medicare, but you have enrolled into a Medicare Advantage private insurance company, which is for-profit Part C program. And
it's not for our profit.
no. Yeah, he's splitting hairs.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. And next up here, we have a question coming in from Joanne. More of a clarifying question here, Joanne in Brooklyn. You are live.
And that was vague
Go
because he
ahead.
didn't say you
Thank
left
you.
your federal
I just want
program.
to clarify about the opt-out date, and I have one other question too. It was originally 10/31, and I understand a judge ordered an injunction, so there's a hold on it. But did you say that we must opt out by 12/31? And if we don't opt out, we will be automatically put in the plan? And if we have to opt out by 12/31, how do you know that we opted out to put it? You'd start charging us. How would you know to charge us on 1/1?
Okay, did, the judge allowed the program to go forward. What the judge did is added time for the opt-out period, which would have completed October 31st. You have until December 31st to do an opt-out. The problem with the waiting until December 31st, technically you do, is that on January 1st, presumably you will have new cards, right, to have your benefits done. So if you have made up your mind already whether you want to opt out or not, I would suggest that you act on it quicker in order to get
I know what he's saying.
the cards in place and everything in place.
Go ahead.
You know what he's saying? What he's saying is by December 31st, if you have not opted out, you will be going into the plan, regardless of what the judge says, regardless of anything else, because they're moving ahead with this thing.
And that's funny because that's kind of not what Vince Scaglione said yesterday.
Right.
When we did the previous UFT video, he
Right.
kind of paused and said, I forget his exact words. It was like a wait and see, or it may.
Yeah, we may be moving forward. I don't know, something.
He
Right,
left
but
it vague.
he wasn't dead set on saying that, oh, well, January 1st, it's going to start. He kind of swayed off that.
Yeah, it gets better. Hold on.
Place by the beginning of the year. So how would you know what would have happened if you opted out, right? So right now, if you have not opted out and you have that period again, you have until the end of the year. That will not change, has not changed. The judge's decision did not change that process. What it did do is change the October 31st opt-out deadline and added an additional amount of weeks per the judge's order.
He did he?
Robin?
Yeah, no, that's definitely not. That's not how. My buzzer is breaking. That's not what happened.
No.
The judge didn't just give us a couple extra weeks. The judge basically said, this is paused, status quo, stay as is. There is no end to the opt-out.
You know what he's doing? He's mixing up what the truth is with what he's being told, that this has to move forward
Yeah.
by December 31st.
Well, they're all afraid because it's now going to affect their pocket, as we all know, that those, according to those MOUs and the agreements, that if they don't realize these savings, the unions have to pay back for the raises that they took, the way that they funded the raises from the Health Stabilization Fund. So I'm sure they're probably all shaking in their boots because it does say that they would prorate that. They would have to prorate that reimbursement. The unions would have to pay that back, right? I think that was in the 2018 agreement.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. And it was something in the 2014 also
Yeah.
that said that if it didn't move forward, that, yeah.
Okay.
If you're still here, I don't think, I hope you heard her question. Yeah.
You're spot on that. You don't
Spot on that.
You got it.
And Robin said yes.
Did you hear me, Henry? And I hope member heard.
All right, yeah, thank you so much.
And
Joanne.
Robin
I
Roach is
appreciate you,
counsel-
Henry, for giving that great information
Counsel to
here.
the
And,
district.
You know,
Counsel.
it does look like we have official.
I'm calling BS on that, and this is why that's a super BS, because he called on Robin. Robin, are you still here? Did I get it right on that? He was confirming to district council's counsel, to their counsel, that his interpretation of the judge's decision that the deadline was extended to December 31st and the plan is still going. Yeah, buzz. I'm giving up on this buzzer. I don't like this buzzer. I need a new buzzer, Madeline. So yeah, that is BS. Not true. Not true. And said that the own district council attorney reinforced what he said, even though it's not true.
Do you really think she was listening?
She
to
was
what
listening.
No, she was on the call. That doesn't mean she was listening. You know how you get distracted and
You make
whatever.
excuses for her?
It also sounds like every so often it sounds like it's because it's pre-scripted, because it sounds like there's papers being shuffled underneath, like when you go to the next page.
Oh, but remember, this was a recording that someone else took from a telephone call.
Right. But it just the way, sometimes it sounds like some of it's like scripted,
All right, let's see.
So we reached our allotted time tonight, and we did get to as many questions as we could. However, if you didn't get your question answered, we do encourage you to call 1-833-325-1190. That's a special hotline that has been set up to answer questions on the Medicare Advantage Plus plan that is specific to New York City retirees. They are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And again, that phone number is 1-833-325-1190. And we really appreciate you all for staying on the line with us tonight. And we do value your time. So with that, I'd like to turn it back over to Henry to bring us to the finish line.
Yes, thank you very much. Let me just say, I want to thank Ed Hasek, Neil Duncan, and Bob Pfefferman from the Retirees Association, as many of the other members of the Retirees Association who took extraordinary amount of time on pushing back, on asking questions, on doing what they do and advocating on behalf of the retirees. This is not an easy process, was not an easy process, and continues to be very difficult to deal with. But I want to overemphasize what I said at the beginning, that not doing anything about the cost was not an option. That we would not want to be in a position where we would tell people who needed their medication that they wouldn't be able to do so. People with cancer, people with asthma, people with injectable, not to mention the fact what would happen to the coverage. So not doing anything was not an option that we could have entertained. It would have been, in my opinion, irresponsible not to make sure that we did something about a fund that was going to run out of money. Having said that, I think we've done as best as we were able to do with the negotiations to try to keep this program as intact as possible. In fact, we think that we've improved in many of the areas, and I hope that you see that, and I hope that the fears and concerns that have been found out there can be put to bed once they see that the program is in fact better than the one that we have now. I want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank you for your service. I want to thank you for the service that you provided this city, for paving the way for people like me to be in the position that I'm in. The retirees are the backbone of this union and were for so many years. And, I regret that the anxiety of this has caused to you, to your families. But rest assured, the union was not going to allow the program that was going to go belly up. I think I've said many times that leadership is doing not just the popular thing, but doing the right thing at the right time. And we tried to provide that leadership. I thank you for listening. Keep asking questions, as many as you have. We will be doing the best to try to keep doing these kinds of communications to keep you up to date. And I thank you for your service, and thank you for supporting the union.
Please press 1 to leave voicemail.
Pretty interesting.
Mm.
Go ahead.
He said something interesting about supporting a program that's going to go belly up. So what was he referring to?
The Health Insurance Stabilization Fund.
Could be taken another way.
What do you mean?
This plan.
No, the senior care plan is what it sounded like to me. That's how I would have interpreted that. Okay.
I would say, because when you said support, the support that the plan, I would have gone belly up. See, I would take it as this plan.
So I want to read you an article real quick that someone posted yesterday from 2014 in the New York Daily News by Juan Gonzalez. May 6th, 2014, headline, City union leaders will fund raises by transferring $1 billion from the city health account. City union leaders will partially finance new pay raises for their members by transferring $1 billion from a little-known city health account jointly controlled by the Municipal Labor Committee and City Hall, the Daily News has learned. Details of the transfer are contained in a memorandum obtained by the news, but not previously disclosed. Effective July 1, this is quote, effective July 1, 2014, the Stabilization Fund shall convey $1 billion to the City of New York to be used to support wage increases and other economic items, says one provision of the 3-page agreement. The rest of the agreement summarizes a commitment by the unions to achieve separate health cost savings for the city of $3.4 billion over the next 4 years. That section contains another surprising revelation. Any savings over the $3.4 billion target will be rebated as a one-time bonus to city workers, up to a maximum of $365 million. That's the equivalent of 1% of annual salaries for all workers, a city official acknowledged. No wonder the Labor Committee's nearly 100 union members overwhelmingly approved the agreement on Monday, though individual unions must still negotiate their own contracts. The city established the obscure fund in the 80s to bridge disparities in premiums between the two biggest health insurance providers for public employees, GHI and HIP. Since then, City Hall has paid money into the fund every year. But changes in the health insurance industry, including the merger of GHI and HIP, have unexpectedly led to huge surpluses in the fund. By July 1, it is on track to reach almost $1.8 billion. The fund is jointly administered by the city and the Municipal Labor Committee, so during all the years that union leaders could not reach labor contracts with former Mayor Bloomberg, they refused to allow any transfers from the fund except for health costs. Harry Nespoli, president of the sanitation workers and head of the Labor Committee, defended his group's sudden decision to dip into the fund. Here's a picture of, hold on. Here's a picture of Harry. We haven't heard from Harry in a couple weeks. Our members have been without a contract for so long, we had to get creative and at the same time not hurt the city's finances, Nespoli said. Besides, we finally have a management that's willing to bargain with us fairly. When de Blasio announced a tentative teacher's contract last week, one that includes 18% in pay hikes over a 9-year period, he made it clear that he could only afford it and other labor pacts if the Municipal Labor Committee approved his health savings targets. Thank you, Mayor de Blasio. Since then, his aides have expressed confidence that they will reach the savings goal through reforms in healthcare delivery he negotiated with individual unions. But their lack of specifics made many people skeptical. Now we learn City Hall is offering an unprecedented incentive. Unions that reduce healthcare costs can expect a bonus. I have no doubt what we're doing to meet the target. I have no doubt that we're going to meet the target and pass it big time, another leader of a major union said. That was probably UFT or DC 37. Maybe so, but what if they don't? The agreement states that any disputes will be referred to arbitrator Martin Scheinman. Martin Scheinman. This is the 2014-2018 agreement. Sorry, this is 2014. This is 2014. The agreement states that any disputes will be referred to arbitrator Martin Scheinman. It's entirely possible, if all else fails, that he will then press the sport for city workers to start paying a portion of their health insurance. Any way you slice it, de Blasio and unions have taken labor management cooperation to a whole new level. Interesting, huh? And we've been saying for a very long time that according to what we've seen in these documents that are city documents, this is not something that someone wrote on a Facebook post, that this agreement was made in 2014 via a UFT MOU between Michael Mulgrew and the City of Labor Relations, Office of Labor Relations, that he had to convince the MLC to go along with these healthcare savings, in which he did. Then by doing so, using the funds that were in that fund, there was another comment on one of his emails that he put out to teachers just this week that said, hey, I've heard that the fund is, we're in this situation because you've used money from this health fund it to fund teachers' raises rather than fund health insurance premiums. And he said, no, that's not true. But it's everywhere. It's not
Right.
like we're making this up. It's absolutely everywhere. You could find this in so many places. Where is it not true?
Well, because he doesn't think that people can find it, and that's the problem.
It's super scary. It is super scary at this point that he could keep denying that they put us in this position. So
I guess it would make, I guess it's what makes him whole. That's what makes him feel whole. Like
well,
that-
denial is not just a river, you know,
Right.
unfortunately. Yeah. So that's video 2. We'll have to, I know we have plenty more of these to do. Now I go, gosh, no.
I know Madeline's like, great.
But come on, these
great.
are fun. We get to, and I'm sick and tired of them saying that the misinformation is from us. It's not from us. I don't see anywhere where there's 12,000 Uber rides. And if there was, Mr. Garrido would have returned any one of my several emails or phone calls. Seriously?
And that's the reason why I will do these with you, is to prove that we are not the source of misinformation. They are the source of misinformation.
And if they want to challenge that we're being misinformed, then we have plenty of 833 videos just like this, Mr. Garrido and Mr. Mulgrew, to show you that the answers that we're getting from the people you hired are giving this information to us, in addition to you guys. So that is, that's all I got to say on that.
That's
Enjoy
all.
your day, ladies. Love ya.
Right.
Peace out.
Peace out.